Hi, my name is Liam Finn, and the inquiry question I'm intrigued to explore is how did the Soviet-Afghan War affect the development of Islamic extremism in Afghanistan? Now, for some background information, the Soviet-Afghan War was an invasion by the Soviet Union starting December 24th, 1979 to February 15th, 1989, lasting a total of 9 years. It was an effort by the Soviet Union to support the then communist Afghan government led by two Marxist-Leninist parties, the People's Party, also known as Khalq, and the Banner Party, also known as Parcham, both stemming from the People's Democratic Party of Afghanistan. The parties were united because in 1978 they came together to overthrow the previous centrist republic to form the communist government, which was not popularly received but found strength through ties with the Soviet Union. One of the reasons it was unpopular was its social reforms, clashing with the strong foundation of Islam in Afghanistan's culture, spawning the Mujahideen, which is Arabic for those who engage in jihad. And it is also important to note that despite the modern connotations and jihad being a buzzword for terrorism, its original meaning is just striving or struggling, and in this context, striving or struggling for God, which they believed they were doing. But also, the Soviet-Afghan War is important and also noted in history because it became part of the Cold War due to the US's involvement because of their fear of the domino effect, which is if one country falls to communism, other countries will follow as well, and they wanted to prevent that from happening, so the US aided and funded the Mujahideen. And I want to explore this because, as Gore Vidal said, we are the United States of amnesia. We learn nothing because we remember nothing. And I feel as though understanding this mysterious and largely ignored aspect of our history is essential to understanding where we are now in our post-9/11 society. As exemplified by recent events such as the infamous Muslim ban, which was an executive order by President Trump to bar citizens from 7 Muslim-majority countries from entering the U.S. The nations were, for example, Syria, Iran, Yemen, Iraq, Libya, and Somalia, as well as he also suspended the U.S. refugee program. We are currently living in an era of Islamophobia hysteria to the point where a member of the executive office, counselor to the president, Kellyanne Conway, made up a Bowling Green massacre which didn't happen. Although there was a failed plot, there was no massacre. And the fact that a cabinet official did this is a huge deal. The security of not only the U.S., but all of the countries who have been affected by the attacks of Islamic extremism is at stake when we give into bigotry and panicked prejudice instead of objectively and intellectually trying to understand the growth of Islamic extremism. We face an era where an entire religion is under scrutiny for the actions of radicals, which is also bizarre considering 82% to 97% of terrorism-related fatalities are Muslim. This also leads me to the stasis of my question, which is the facts, because I want to understand the truth of what happened and how it relates to the modern day. Because as Maya Angelou said, history, despite its wrenching pain, cannot be unlived, but faced with courage, need not be lived again. And if we review the past, maybe we can understand why we are where we are now and how we got here and what we can do about it. My research plan is currently to learn more about Afghanistan itself and the socio-economic and cultural climate previous to the war and after. I want to gain knowledge on what specifically happened during the war and what the extent and impact of the US was, as well as the Soviet Union's invasion and how it affected Afghanistan. Through understanding the exact timeline of the war as well as Afghanistan's previous history, it will be possible to pinpoint what did and what did not contribute to the development of Mujahideen into Al-Qaeda.